here's your choice of list tonight. We have 20 great films about loneliness, or since we've been talking about, did we talk about people that were evil on this show? Did I remember that correctly?
Like what? Like villains or
we might have.
Maybe we didn't.
Know.
Maybe we didn't. I don't know. This rang a bell for me. Or 15 great films. 15 great films that profoundly reveal the evilness in humanity. Wow, what a headline.
Wow, evilness. Wow.
Your evilness.
Is that really used in that headline?
Yes.
Okay, not them.
I love that Sam Raimi movie, The Evilness. That was great.
Evilness, yes.
Let's go to the loneliness instead.
Okay.
That's something I know totally a lot about. So.
Okay. I think essentially every porn film is about loneliness. You could list every one of those.
The Brown Bunny then has to be on that list.
Yeah, Brown Bunny. That's a good one.
Because every porn film just reflects the loneliness of the people that are actually watching it. Okay. Loneliness. Number 1, Wild Strawberries.
Well,
I see that.
Yeah.
My first choice, but I see that.
The loneliness that comes with old age, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Tell us about that, Jerry.
Thank you. I'll tell you, dude, it's the worst, man. It is the worst. And that, you talk about when the phone doesn't ring anymore? It's horrible.
Yeah. You can't even hear the phone ring. That's
I
how
can't hear anything. I mean, I can't even hear the toilet flush.
All right. Number 2, Red Desert.
Oh, yeah,
wow,
that's a great one.
This
is a
great
good
one.
list.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Antonioni.
This is a taste of cinema, by the way. We only keep going to them. We only keep going to them because they have hundreds and hundreds of these lists. So there's a very easy reference. Yeah, Red Desert is amazing.
Yeah.
That's Antonioni, however you want to pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced both ways, by the way, and I just prefer the sound of Antonioni because for some reason Antonioni sounds unsophisticated.
I like anchovy.
Yeah, you might
sounds
be
like
right.
Sounds like pasta.
Like you're right.
Pasta from a can. That's what it sounds like. Okay. Number 3 is Repulsion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's definitely on there.
A good list. They're going back through the archives, through a little bit of history here.
It's not like somebody just goes back 10 years. Some of these lists only go back 10 years.
Right.
Yeah. Number 4 is Dumb and Dumber 2.
There is an argument to be made. It is about loneliness.
Yeah. If you're the person in the theater laughing, that's all about loneliness.
Sadly, I saw it with a bunch of high school kids that couldn't stop laughing.
Number 4, is this the Samurai or the Melville movie? Is that what it is?
The Samurai.
Yeah, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh God, yes, that's perfect.
Which is actually a film I have to say I haven't seen. So that's a movie.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
so
I know it's one of those movies. It's just kind of falling through the cracks, but I'll make time for it.
Number 5. Speaking of falling through the cracks, did you guys see that Kim Kardashian photo last week? Okay. Number 5.
You had to do that.
Yeah, it's being mentioned everywhere else. I just wanted to do our part.
Yeah, we have to chime in. Yeah, okay.
Number 5 is for them is Silent Running.
Yes.
That's interesting.
God.
That's a good one.
How could it not be on here?
Yeah.
Douglas Trumbull, my favorite person.
Yeah, your favorite guy. Yes.
Good
your
Lord,
friend.
That man annoys me. He will not. He can cure cancer. I still won't like him for sending us that email.
That email was just so. What the fuck was he thinking?
It was petty. Number 6 is Solaris, the 72 Tarkovsky.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one I was going to mention after Silent Running, but I figured it'd be on the list. So yeah.
Here's my favorite movie about loneliness. Number 7, Taxi Driver.
Yeah, that has to be on. I mean,
I'm surprised that wasn't higher up.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Because that movie's about one thing. It is about loneliness. loneliness and alienation, and
Mhm.
But essentially, this is a tricky category because I think essentially 95% of movies, if not more, are about the need to connect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what existence is about. I mean, so it's hard to get over.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean,
number 8 is Paris, Texas.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
God, no complaints so far. We're almost halfway through and no complaints.
Yes, this guy's knocking it out of the park here.
Number 9 is Wings of Desire.
Okay, yeah, or 2 Wingwinders. Yeah, no, there is. That's another one. I mean, there's many ways you could look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit more problematic for me. But I guess it's about the need to connect, but there's a barrier between life and death, the world of life and the world of death. So, but I'm not quite sure it's about loneliness. But there is a character. I guess there is a character that's experiencing loneliness in it. So, yeah, I guess it is.
I clearly saw it in the Superior remake, City of Angels. I just want to say.
I knew someone was going to bring that up.
Clearly there. Did you hear that Wim Wenders? He says that all of his movies will be released through Criterion, including the unseen 5-hour cut of Until the End of the World.
Oh, wow.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah,
me too. I've been wanting to see that again for a long time.
Yeah.
Until the End of the World. So, okay, number 10 for them is Naked.
Yes. Definitely.
Mhm. Yep.
There you
go. That's
sort
of like a loneliness that's sort of intellectually kind of foisted onto the character by himself. You know, it's like he has no time for most people anyway, so he can't.
Yeah.
He can't really connect with people at all because he feels he's so superior to them. So, yeah, absolutely.
By the way, this list is made by Andrew Lowry at Taste of Cinema. So good job so far, Andrew. Now you can completely blow it with the second half of your list. So far, we're on board.
I have one that I'm expecting to be on the list. I'm hoping that it'll be on the list.
There's one.
You're not alone.
Okay.
You're not alone. Thank you. Number 11. I'll be here all night, all alone. Number 11, 3 Colors Blue.
Yeah, really? Okay. Yeah, I guess so.
I could see all three of them, the whole trilogy, really. You know,
yes. Yeah, definitely. The whole trilogy.
Number 12, Chungking Express.
Yeah. I could see that about... you could put a couple Wong Kar-wai movies on there. I think you'd be in good company. You could put In the Mood for Love in there.
Mm-hmm.
Number 13. This is interesting. That's a movie I feel strongly about. Their number 13 is Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, that's totally, yeah.
But it's definitely about two lonely people who find each other. So I think that's the interesting.
And it's a powerful love story because it truly pays attention to what makes a love story. You know why they both need each other. They both need the other so badly, and that's what makes it so visceral for me.
Yes.
Any other point in their lives, I mean, if they wouldn't have anything to do with each other.
Right.
You know. Number 14, these are more modern movies now. Number 14 is Castaway.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's an obvious choice, but yes.
That one I'm a little less enthused about because, I mean, that's, you know, that's like, you know, what are you going to put? All Is Lost is on there too, and, you know, so, I mean.
Well, what Castaway does that All Is Lost doesn't do, and it makes sense that it doesn't because then it would be just a direct copy of Castaway, is the whole subplot with Wilson. I mean, how we sublimate our loneliness and convince ourselves of some kind of connection that doesn't actually exist. And when he's so heartbroken when Wilson floats away, that's a really potent moment in that movie.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Number 15, Lost in Translation.
Yes. That's a great one.
Okay. I'm used to you guys saying, screw this list.
It's very rare that we make it through a list like this.
Okay.
Without saying that.
Couple I'll add, though, when we're done, if they're not on here.
Okay. Number 16, Spring, Summer, Autumn, Winter, and Spring.
That one I've never seen.
I could see where you would put that. I mean, I could see why that's on there, but it's not the first thing that comes to mind.
Well, these are all modern movies. Number 17 is The Machinist.
Yeah.
I
could definitely see that.
I got to see that movie again. I remember very little about it.
Yeah, I'd like to watch that again, too.
Number 18 is Into the Wild.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good one to put on there. I mean, but I've been thinking about that movie a lot lately, and I think he was happy to be alone, though. I got it at various points throughout the movie. I mean, he was very happy. I mean, he was another case like the character Naked. He thought he was very much smarter, much better than everyone else. I mean, so
there's an interesting article that was written I forget when it was written, but not too long ago, about how he actually did die, because there's been a lot of controversy about how that actually did go down. And it was illuminating. It was just all those poison berries he ate, and he just died in the trailer or the bus or wherever he was.
In the bus, yeah.
And then there's a great article I read today on Salon.com, just as an aside, of how the hospital that Elvis died in, how they covered up his cause of death because nobody wanted it to be made public that he died of an overdose. And they go through the details of when the paramedics arrived and how they found Elvis and everything, and the names of the paramedics and what was said to them. And it wasn't a secret. By the time the paramedics got upstairs and found Elvis's body, which they could not even recognize him as Elvis, he was in such bad shape. By the time they got up there, 2 people in the house had told him, I think he OD'd. So it was like common knowledge. And he had a Dr. Feelgood that traveled everywhere with him, and he paid $800 a day to give him, tens of thousands of pills. So, interesting article. That's what happened. He wore his body down by taking tens of thousands of pills. Number 19. Talk about loneliness. Number 19 is Mary and Max, 2009.
Yeah. Now this list is falling down for me.
It's
falling down is not on here, but that could be a good candidate.
That could be on there too.
That's a good one though.
Number 20. Man. Our final movie on this list is.
Yes, that certainly.
Yeah, that should be higher actually.
That could definitely be higher.
Well, what were the ones that you wanted to add?
The main one, I mean, you could put a couple, but I think the main one of the best movies about loneliness in the last, of recent movies is Punch Drunk Love. I don't think there's a better movie that illustrates loneliness than that. I mean, I think that's good. And if you want to go even further, I would even be willing to say Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It has some, not as much obviously as Punch Drunk Love, and the other one I'd add is obviously Nightcrawler. Just recent, just very very recent. I think Nightcrawler. I mean, he is wow. He has nobody. So, but the Punch Drunk Love has always been to me one of the best recent movies of the examination of loneliness. I mean, especially when he calls up the sex line and everything, and just really,
trying to reach out to the sex line.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, but that's powerful stuff.
I would add Eraserhead. I think that's maybe the quintessential movie about loneliness. Midnight Cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Oh, God, yeah.
And there's a documentary called On the Bowery that I think is very much about loneliness. Those are the three that popped up, in my head. But there's probably a lot more, like The Piano Teacher or maybe a lot of Haneke's works.
Sofia Coppola, though, even though they mentioned Lost in Translation, I would be willing to say her first 4 films are all about loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much the bling.
Well,
but
and loneliness goes hand in hand with isolation, even the self-imposed isolation. And under that category, you have everything from There Will Be Blood to The Conversation.
Yes.
That can go in there.
There Will Be Blood will definitely be about. You could definitely put that in there. You could put The Aviator in there.
Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah.
The Remains of the Day.
Mm-hmm. The Aviator, I think, is a good choice, too.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely. It's a fascinating subject, and that's a great list for the most part.
It is. Yeah, I have no problem with it.
I feel like they crapped out in the last 5, but.
No, I think her was a good choice. Though.
It was, yeah.
I love it when we reminisce about a list that we just revealed. I remember that list you told me you read off 5 minutes ago. I have fond memories of that.